Xbox hardware is dead, says founding team member. It looks like Xbox has no desire or literally can't ship hardware anymore. I remember when this kind of happened to Sega. They just brought out, I think it was 1999. Yeah, like, I know that sounds like centuries ago, but it wasn't. They just brought out Sega Saturn, I think it was. I think so. And then, like, no more Sega. It's like they just collectively gave up, and you didn't like hear about Sega anymore, even though they were the one of the biggest names. I don't think this is going to happen to Microsoft, but they may shift their gears more into software. But let's get into it. One of the original founding members of Xbox, Laura Fryer, believes the firm's hardware ambitions are dead. She calls the company's current roadmap chaos. There's literally no reason to buy this handheld, Fryer opined of the Rogue Xbox Ally. And yeah, okay, well, I kind of agree with that because, well, I support the Steam Deck because they support open source, and I've never been a big fan of Microsoft. Also, this ROG Xbox Ally is going to be like $1,000 after tax or more. So yeah, I just can't see it. So we're going to take 4 minutes here to watch this video. Official overview trailer, Xbox Games Showcase. Okay, what's currently showing is a commercial for the handheld that they're going to be pushing hard. Let's see if I can skip ahead some.
So
yes, they're also going to be pushing Game Pass real hard, which means streaming games, which means you have zero control over your games. You're essentially renting access from them more so than even Nintendo selling you keys to download the game. So that's what the person means by they think that the Xbox is, Microsoft essentially getting out of the hardware market. And let it play a little bit.
Gaming. So what's next? How can we give you even more freedom, more choice, more ways to play? Our next step is to unify your gaming no matter where you buy or play. So we're building an Xbox experience designed for players, not locked to a single store or tied to one device. The Xbox Ally is an Xbox you can hold in your hands, bringing together the power of Xbox and the freedom of Windows. On this Xbox, you can play games across your entire library, including all the Windows PC game stores, from Xbox and Battle.net to Steam, GOG, and Ubisoft Connect. And the highly anticipated Hollow Knight Silksong will be available at launch and in Game Pass when the Ally releases later this year. In fact, every new game you see in today's show will be playable on the Xbox Ally. We have always wanted you to have the unique experience of Xbox on any screen. That's why we're investing in Xbox Play Anywhere. Whether you're playing on console, PC, smart TV, or any Windows handheld like the new Xbox Ally, the Xbox experience roams with you. Your library, progression, friends, and achievements. There are over 1,000 Xbox Play Anywhere games on Xbox today. And every new game you see in today's show, from our partners and our studios, is Xbox Play Anywhere. And because it's Xbox, you can always have access to Game Pass with a diverse lineup of games from the biggest franchises to critically acclaimed indie hits. This is the freedom we believe players should have. Any game, anywhere. And we are giving it our all every day to make this vision real. But it all comes back to the games. From Dead to Rights on the original Xbox to Armored Core 6, our relationship with Bandai Namco Entertainment has stood the test of time. We both believe in bringing amazing experiences to players around the world, and their next game does exactly that. From Rebel Wolf Studio, this is a story-rich action RPG steeped in dark fantasy that I can't wait for you to explore. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Okay, so yeah, they're going to be pushing more Game Pass and this handheld, which the hardware is made by Asus, or however you want to pronounce it. So that's why one of the team is saying that their hardware days are done and their plan is chaos. You know, I kind of agree, but it may work for them. I don't know. I just don't really see it myself, but it could. Xbox is focused on driving fans to Game Pass. Fryer continued saying that while there's value in that, and while it's possible, or while it's possibly one of the reasons why Outer Worlds 2 was slapped with an $80 price tag, Microsoft is allegedly planning significant layoffs in its gaming business that could come as early as this week. Managers at Microsoft had reportedly already been briefed about the Xbox layoffs, as well as wider cuts at the company, which are expected to hit sales teams in particular. The Verge reported Microsoft plans to make the cuts ahead of the release of the next generation of consoles. It comes after Microsoft announced a partnership with AMD to power the next generation of Xbox. Well, see, first it was Valve's Steam Deck that, started. Well, first it was the Switch, then it was Steam Deck that kicked off the handheld craze. But Sony has not successfully jumped on that bandwagon yet. Neither is Microsoft, but good chance Microsoft is going to really push at that market. And then they won't even have to push the power with it because they will be leaning on Game Pass, going, no, you don't need that much power, just stream it.
Yeah. I know one I seen that looks pretty interesting is the Legion Go S, and it has Steam on it as well.
Well,
Yeah, Steam has released Steam OS, which is a Linux. They've released it for more handhelds. So yeah, they are bringing out other handhelds with Steam OS on it, which is it's great.
Yeah.
well,
I
I
like-
mean, what gets me is they said in their little commercial that they always wanted people to have a handheld. Bullshit. Let's just call it for what it
Yeah,
is.
of course it's bullshit.
They're just trying to compete with the Steam Deck. That's all they're doing, and they're
They're
telling
jumping
people
on a bandwagon.
Yeah,
Well, where's the hose at? They're at the whole house.
Yeah.
The house,
They all
the
got-
house of Ho. They have a royal crest with spread legs. The House of Ho. And the House of Ho falls for anyone with some money.
but they're charging $1,000.
Or some meth.
They're charging $1,000 for this handheld. That's
Well,
insane.
I think initially it's like 900, but the tax would put it over 1,000.
That's insane. You could buy a whole computer for that.
Yeah, the PlayStation did have some type of streaming thing. The thing is it would only stream. It didn't really do its own thing. Didn't really have any power behind it, and it seemed really half-assed, and it didn't really catch on. So yeah, they have, in a small way, attempted to jump on that bandwagon, but they have not committed to it.
I think he's talking about the PlayStation Portable. Remember that small little one?
Oh yeah. Well, he's talking about the Portal, which is the one I was just mentioning. But yes, they did have the PSP and the PS Vita, and those were decent machines. But that's been a good while now since they kind of left that market before that market really took off with the Switch and the Steam Deck. So yeah, since then they've not really committed to that market.